What's up everyone, it's Iskander here. Welcome back to Tech Pulse, your channel for tech news and crypto investment. In this urgent video, we're going to look at the recent Bitcoin pump to about 105,000. We're going to look at generally at how the market is looking. It's looking fantastic, and some of the top alts. As always, anything we say in this video is not financial advice and for education and entertainment purposes. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video. You can join our free Discord group via the attached link. So first things first, looking at the crypto bubbles, what an amazing pump. Bitcoin is really surging up. So just early in the day, it went up to about 105,000. So that was a nice $6,000 rip in a single day. And now we can see some of the major alts in the top 100, recovering some of the losses in the prior months. A particular standout, a massive standout, is Ethereum, which had a huge day, double-digit growth. I'm just trying to find Ethereum. We can see there's a bit of an ETH alt season happening now. So we've got Pepe pumping. These are all of the alts on top of Ethereum. Breath, that's more of a base chain token. What else have we got? We've got ENS, which is naming service on Ethereum there. There's the ETH, 28%. That's incredible for a large cap. Can you just imagine how much liquidity is flowing into ETH? So we'll look at the price chart. So SHIB is obviously going as well. Virtually anything on top of ETH is going up. So if you were kicking ETH in the bowls, I think it's gonna have its comeback. And I think some of the other honorable mentions, obviously the projects that we love on this channel, is Kaspa. KAS 11.35%. We'll look at the price chart. SUI is obviously a standout as well, very strong performer. TAO recovering as well. Uni again on Ethereum. Well, I mean, Uni is a DEX originally launched on Ethereum, but it supports other chains now. 28%. LDO, which is a DeFi protocol, also originally on Ethereum, 24%. So yeah, don't sleep on Ethereum. I think it's gonna recover really quick, and it has in just a day. On the weekly, about the same. Memes are a little bit more prominent, and then monthly, we've got there's NIE as well, Randa 73%, Doge 47%, SUI 106, triple digits. It's incredible. All right, so let's do a bit of TA on firstly starting with the macro, and macro being QQQ. So this particular ETF tracks major Nasdaq stocks. So think of it like Nasdaq is effectively all of the big tech companies like Apple and Google, and everyone in that basket. So it's highly correlated to Bitcoin. So whenever it goes up, so does Bitcoin. So we can see we're only 10% from the top. It's got recovered significantly since its lows. Gold, we can see it's just consolidating here. I'd love it to see gold going down more, a bigger correction, which means money is flowing out of a safe asset being gold into more risky assets. And now looking at the total crypto market cap, we can see just on a daily, that is a huge candle. 12% across $3.2 trillion is a lot. So we're not far from the top. We're getting close. We're gonna get back to all-time high. We're only 14% away. We can see based on the measured move, we can expect it to get to about 5 trillion. Longer term target, I'd love to see it So hopefully by July we'll see all-time high between 4 and 5 trillion, and then perhaps quarter 3, quarter 4 between 5 and 6 trillion. And this is a conservative target. Many are calling 8, 12, depending who you speak to. Now we're moving out further out into others, which excludes, basically it's all of crypto excluding BTC and Ethereum, which have like 70% of the total crypto market cap. We can see that also had a massive candle, so alts are recovering, hence that explains all the green. And by end of the cycle, hopefully we'll see others somewhere in the $1 trillion total market cap. Now, US dollar index, this is also a proxy to people selling out of dollars, selling their dollars into other assets, whether it's gold or crypto or equities. So we can see it dump to 98%. Well, I'd love to see it go to as low as 90%. If we see that, then that's it typically indicates that people are willing to take on more risk and gamble more. Now, looking next at USDT dominance, so USD Tether being one of the largest stable coins. I think it's in the sort of 100 billion plus in circulation. This is also an indicator for but basically people selling their dollars for converting them into other crypto, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or altcoins. So again, if we look at price cycle 2022, it went as low as 1.89% dominance. So if we get to that level from here, I think first stop will be another 20% down. Then hopefully, at an absolute blow of top, we'll see another 45% retracement. So what that means is here, I don't know why my brush isn't working. Let's do a reload this. Oh yeah. So we can see if we can get to these levels here. This is just a bull market support band. We don't really need it on this particular chart. But yeah, if we can get to somewhere here to this level, 2.6%, then that means that's when you take your profits. You basically sell your alts, SUI, Kaspa back into USDT because it's going to start trailing up. We might see this and then it'll start heading up quickly as people sell profits back into their stable coins. Now, dominance, so Bitcoin dominance, obviously that is a key chart to look at. Let's take a zoom on this out into weekly. Alright, so we can see in the price cycles, this is the bear market effectively. Bitcoin's going up, it's taking all the liquidity out. This happened 2018, 2020. We see the same patterns been going for the last 2 years, primarily because institutions are piling into Bitcoin and dominance. That's why dominance was rising. We haven't really had QE or any financial stimulus, which therefore hasn't translated into alts. That's why Bitcoin's been running up. But looking at basically the loss of dominance or the flow of funds from Bitcoin into the rest of crypto. So in the price cycle, it dumped about 47%. Prior to that, it dumped in the 2017 62%. So we can see the flow of money from Bitcoin. So effectively, people selling Bitcoin profits into alts becomes less, and it's less less severe in the future cycles, right? So I think here we'll probably see we may not get to the 40% mark where 60% is now sitting in altcoins. So we may see it somewhere, within this region around sort of 50, perhaps somewhere here. There'll be some obviously support resistance about 44%. So I think that would be a perfect region when we get to that point on alts. SUI, Kaspa bags have pumped 3, 5, 10x. That's when you take your profits, because it'll bounce back up, right? That's going to be effectively the top, the blow off top, and then it's time to sell and get out and wait and then buy the bottom again. So here we've got the actual Bitcoin itself. Again, fantastic day. We got to about 104,500. Based on a measured move, we'll get to about 130. This might be a local top. So here, hopefully we'll see that, may see that by July, August, September. Then it may sort of, again, establish this kind of, hopefully we'll see another bullish bull flag like this. That's effectively a bull flag. And then we might see another final surge, and generally that it's more violent and extended. We may even get to 200, right? And this is basically your top, and you need to draw that correlated back to dominance to see, basically that's your signal for when to get out, and USDT dominance, that's also your signal for when to get out. All right, so now let's look at Ethereum. Oops. Look at this, what a bounce back. It went as low as 1300. That's a 2019 top, and then within a single day, huge candle. And this is billions of dollars flowing into ETH, by the way. Look at that, 40% within like 2 days. That's 2 daily candles. We're on daily here. So I think there'll be some resistance here around this level, so we might see a bit of correction, and then hopefully it'll start breaking, get to this level here, 3,000. So it's all going to be a stay case. It's not going to pump overnight to 5,000. You need to be patient. This is Ethereum against Bitcoin, which is quite a common chart to look at. We can see Bitcoin dumped. It's like a limp, down she goes, right? And then we've got this huge candle. So that's because of the 28% rise on Ethereum against Bitcoin. It finally showed a bit of resistance here. So this could be the bottom, right? This could be the where ETH starts going up and up. Sorry for the funny graphic there. All right, so now let's look at Kaspa. Obviously we all love Kaspa. Look at that, fantastic. So now we're at 10.5 cents. We're getting above bull market support band. So there's a golden cross that's forming. I think that's 20, and let's look at indicators. Bull market support. Yeah, 20 SMA, 21 EMA. So basically, again, it's a stay case situation. We're going to get to a bit of resistance here. However, Bitcoin will keep going, hopefully keep moving up, and then we'll get to this level of resistance here, and then form a bit of a stay case, a bit of support at this level, and then a break to that level. And at some point here, hopefully we'll see Binance listing, right? So the big Binance, there's a good chance we might see it within this region when it's breaking all-time high, and there's a bit of, retail's coming back, and everyone's getting more, again, greed and excitement, and lots of, leverage trading going on. And I think at that point we may see a big, like one of these pumps that we've seen here on a major SEX listing. That's that wallet number 2. basically being tagged to Binance or crypto.com or Coinbase, and then that this is where we'll end up, basically 30 to 50 cents Kaspa, and then obviously you'd want to shave some profits, take some chips off the table, and then leave a moon bag if you like, 50%, 20% of your bag, and let it ride. And that comes down to your profit taking strategy, right? Which we'll talk about in future videos. Alright, so SUI, another fantastic project, right? This is in Kaspa and SUI TAO in my top 3. So again, huge pump, up to about $4.12. And this was, what is that? 28% on a daily. Amazing. So I think, there's again a bit of resistance, a staircase forming here, and then we'll get to 535 shortly. I think even possible within a week, given how it's performed here, and from there on we'll see if we draw our fib retracement. I don't know why this isn't working. Let's refresh it. Okay, now it's bull market support band showing up. So here, fib retracement. So here, $1618, $7.60, and then $11, $15, right? So this is as high as we can, I think there's at least 3 to 5x left in the tank. So, if we're at $4, that's about $20, right? That's not a bad return for a top 12 crypto. Alright, so now we've got TAO, another very strong performer, $441 TAO. So we can see it's got a bit of resistance here. Obviously, we might see a bit of consolidation, another for break to this level, consolidation, break, and we may what is it? It's about 3.5 billion market cap now. So we might get, if we 3 to 5x, that's not a bad target. So 400 times 3, that's about $1,200 TAO, and then 5x, that could be as high as $2,000 TAO, and in that kind of high blow off stage. And you can see that it starts to look really, that is like, as a measured move in that last stage, that sort of makes sense to top out at somewhere in this range here. Not a bad return, right? I remember looking at it, buying it at $20 on over the counter. Yeah, so what is that? 100x? No, it's, yeah. Oh my god, that's incredible. If we get there, Kaspa was buying at 0.0. You can't even see it because the MACD chart doesn't go that far. 0.036 around there, some in November 2025 over here. So it was the earliest before Kaspa was even on YouTube, or anyone knew anything about Kaspa. I was buying it in absolute bear market bottom in October 2022. About a year after it was listed. I wasn't, first I wasn't, when GPUs were mining it, but in those days, none of the other channels knew anything about Kaspa. Nobody knew anything. I was already buying, sorry, I was talking about Kaspa here, not SUI. And on SUI, I had, again, I suppose, lucky and opportunity to participate in the whitelisting. So I bought SUI at $0.045. Yeah, not a full bag. That was my initial entry. 4.5 cents. Yeah. What's that? It's how much has it done? It went up to $5. Let's calculate that. 5 divided by 5 divided by 4.0.045. So I've done 100x on SUI. There we go. I've done 100x on SUI. I've done 50x plus on Kaspa, if you count the top. And TAO, 700 divided by 20. What is that? 700 divided by 20. 35x. There you go. There's nobody on YouTube with those entries. Nobody. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's a brief update on where we are. So we're monitoring the crypto market very closely. Retail will be returning shortly. We're still early. So hopefully you've had the chance to position, buy the dips and enjoy the ride that's coming now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Skander here. Please subscribe to Tech Pulse for more updates on the crypto market and various altcoins. We'll see you in the next one.